This is an announcement. The official language of the Willing Warrior vlog is English. I feel necessary to say that because if the American government feels it necessary to make the official language of the United States English, shouldn't I? Or is that just stupid? So I just want to start with an email that I got a little while ago, and I don't mean to bring it up as any kind of a slam or a bash, but it is something that I want to address. So if you're watching, I apologize. It's a way for me to segue. The email stated, it was when I started talking about immigration, and immigration issues, and the person said, I've noticed that you started talking about immigration, and I think it's great, it concerns me as well. However, our brothers and sisters are dying right now around the country, and this is what you should be addressing. It's true. It's true. However, through doing this vlog, this vlog is really a growing process for me, and it's a learning process. I think back to 2 years ago and what I was doing, and it was... nothing whatsoever related to politics. I was, I can't even discuss right now. That's a whole different topic, but it's completely it's a new process. So through this, I've learned how to read news and to see bigger themes of what are going on. And I think it's important to start looking at these issues like immigration through a new set of eyes. The immigration issue isn't about immigration. It's about others. It's about a they. It's about something that we are afraid to let into ourselves as a country. We don't want to see that reflected in ourselves. We don't want to change. To have a government say that English is the official language, that this is a debate, it sets up an other. And I think it's foolish for us not to see that this kind of injustice and these kind of lines being drawn and these kind of walls being drawn between countries and guards being set up and already people dying because of it, this is an indication of what can be allowed between groups of people. These issues of calling them they and calling these people different and not belonging are dangerous to us as an LGBT community. Some reports just came out that the numbers of hate crimes dropped from 2004 to 2005, which is great. But I can pretty much guarantee you that those numbers will start to rise. And I pretty much guarantee that some of those reasons will be because of immigration issues. Because suddenly it's justified to say these people don't belong. And when a country starts to justify that, we're not safe. And we will feel it once again. And I used to be concerned too, like when I'd read through things and what I took issue with, I used to be concerned if it really only applied to the LGBT community, or if it was, well, just straight people do the same thing, and if they do, then is it a problem because it's just something that happens. I'm over that, I think if things are happening within our community and they shouldn't be happening, then they shouldn't be happening, especially things like racism. Especially things like racism. We're supposed to be loving and open and celebrating diversity. What's our problem? I don't care where else it happens. And even things like drug use or the things we talked about with images, if it happens in the straight community as well, then that's a problem too. But these are my brothers and sisters. And if it's happening to us on any level, and if people are hurting because of it, then I care. Regardless of where else it's happening. Regardless of how big the issues are with straight people. I don't care. And I'm going to be bold enough to say that if you consider yourself to be part of an LGBT community, the wider demographic, then you cannot, in your own thinking, reflect any kind of other injustice for any other group of people. That we must be very sensitive to all other groups. And if you find in yourself any kind of racism, it's racism against any other group of people, then you really need to rethink it. You need to stop and check yourself, because these things are dangerous. And one of the things that's really starting concerning me now, I'm going to start looking into it more, now that I'm here closer to the Castro, I've started to become very sensitive to some of the issues that have gone in the Castro. There are two in particular, one that I'll talk about later, but the others happened last year. It just kind of ended this year, early this year. There were two bars. One of them was an African American bar, and then the same person bought them, these two bars. He shut down the African American bar, and then the other bar that he owned, the HRC, not the coalition, but the Human Rights Commission, actually filed complaints against him because he wasn't letting in African Americans. He made them show how much money they had in their wallet before they could enter to prove that they could buy drinks, and even when they were inside, they weren't served. There is racism within our community, which is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and if you see it, and if you hear of it, and you feel it, this is unacceptable, because what's reflected on any level is very dangerous to us, because if we allow it to happen, then who do you expect to stand up for you? Injustice is injustice, wherever it's reflected. So here, I'm going to let you put some pieces of the puzzle together yourself. I don't know if you guys were following at all, if you saw my post about the South Central farmers. There's a big plot of land that 350 families have been creating a farm out of for about 12 years. Before it was an abandoned factory. And it's actually feeding 350 families, and it keeps them off any kind of government support, and is providing food to these people. So now it's up for sale, and a company wants to buy it. So these families are fighting for their food source. Now this plot of land, the mayor said that he would put up $5 million for the sale. It's for $10 million this plot of land can be bought for. And it hasn't happened now. Now it's up for sale, they can't fight for it any longer. Here's the part of it that kills me. Los Angeles is now asking for $200 million to refurbish a football stadium so they can lure a football team back to Los Angeles. $200 million for a football team. Now, this situation can be seen as, oh, it's in another part of the country, it's in another part of the world, what can I do? Or you look at these facts and you say, what kind of society am I living in? What kind of values does my society hold? What is most important? What do we value? So here's my challenge to you. As you read through the notices, as you read through the news, and you see issues of racial inequality, of immigration, of African Americans being locked out of pride events, and red flags don't go up for you, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why, I dare you. And then challenge yourself to be a better person.